Alright, so right now I've added two edge loops on the horizontal side of the dog, or horizontally on the dog, so that I have a lot more vertices to work with when I'm shaping the dog. I've looked at images of dog's anatomy on Google, so I've seen that the dog's front torso has the bigger ribs, and it takes up much more space. So as you can see, I'm moving the vertexes to accommodate for those ribs. There are some vertexes that you can, or vertexes, I mean vertices that you can move altogether, like those on the back or on the front or on the chest of the dog. It's very important to consider the anatomy of whatever you're modeling, unless you are doing a very stylized creature. Then by all means express yourself. But yes, I'm continuing to shape this torso that we've modeled so far to match what my image of a dog is. And I think you guys should be doing the same if you want. Just know that this fully model dog will be provided when we get into the rigging process of the dog. Though I will not provide the rig. We will be doing that by ourselves. So now I'm just shaping the dog, being very tedious. But soon we will begin modeling the front leg of the dog, and I think, yep, here we go. So I went into X-ray mode so I can see the reference image and the model at the same time. But one thing, the mistake I made here was that I did not go into the side view when I tried to match up the vertices with the red circle that I drew on my reference image. And it is best to do that as best you can, because as you will see later, I had to go back and do that after I had extruded the leg. So now I'm using the multi-cut tool, and I'm just adding more vertices on the edges of the extrusion I'm about to make, and this is so I can round out the extrusion, as you will see. So the extrusion started out looking a bit weird, so I scaled it really small, and then I started rotating the faces that I had already selected, and I moved those faces to match up with the feet of the reference image. I know the legs don't match up perfectly, but I'm trying to make it go with the feet. I noticed that my leg is a bit twisted, so I get into the rotate tools settings and I change some things so I can twist it back so it looks straight. And now you see where I made the mistake of not lining up my vertices with the reference image, and now I have to go do that again, though it's not that big of an issue. Now I'm adding edge loops on the leg, and if you're using Maya 2016, then this will not be represented with the symmetry. So I'm using Maya 2017, and it does actually work with symmetry. So in Maya 2016, one way to quickly get symmetry back after creating multiple edge loops is to delete half of your model in the front view by selecting half of the faces and then doing mirror geometry and making sure that all the vertices merge together when the object is mirrored, and it will have complete symmetry once again. Alright, so after I created all those edge loops and I have the model or the leg ready, I begin shaping. And one good practice when doing modeling for animation is to try to make the topology of the model go as smooth as possible, because when rigging and weight painting, you'll realize if you have wonky topology that things won't bend or work the way they should normally work. So that's why I'm doing this rotation of the edges from the front view. You don't have to, but it's a good practice, and if you are thinking of animating your creature and you want the best results, this is good practice, the best way. It is quite tedious, but I mean, yeah, I'm about that life, so I'm just gonna speed through these for you real fast. Okay, I guess it's not real fast, but we're speeding. As you can already tell, the side view of the leg still does not look right, so we'll go into that here in a minute. Alright, now that we have the vertices kind of smoothed into the leg, or flowing into the front leg, we can more easily work with this side view when we match up the vertices. This part was a bit tricky. In order to make it still have its circular, or it's not circular, it's more like an oval, but it has a cylindrical type structure. I select all the edges and I scale those to match the reference image, and I move those, as you will see. And this way I don't lose what I've already set out in my front view, and the cylindrical form is still intact, and I don't have to do a lot of tweaking after this step. Here I go, begin selecting the edges and moving them. And I'll just speed that up because we're going to be doing that a lot of the way down.